Welcome to the online LP produced by the Science Unit. This is the second LP of the semester. It is about the practice on household waste audit and clean recycling. So we are very honored to have invited the chairman of Ecobus, Dr. Tan Chin Chang, to speak for us today. Ecobus is a renowned NGO in Hong Kong, and Dr. Tan will be speaking for us on the current waste issues in Hong Kong, our challenges, and also what can we do about it. So his seminar will be about 15 minutes long, and at the end of the online seminar, please remember to go back to the website, complete a few tasks in order to obtain your LP credits. So thank you very much and enjoy the seminar.
So good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm very grateful to share with you about an important issue, which is waste issue in our life. So my name is Dr. Tan. I'm from the Ecobus. So before the sharing start, I would like to introduce myself to you so that you can know more about our organization as well as myself. So Ecobus was established in 2009, and it is a non-profit environmental organization aimed for environmental education. So our core value or core philosophy is enjoy, care, and share. So we hope to bring students to the nature and know more about the nature in order to care about nature and share more about environmental protection issue among peers. So what Ecobus aim for, what is Ecobus doing? So we have two kinds of activities or campaigns that we aim at. First of all, we promote environmental education by different activities. And then we also have a community campaign. So for the first aspect, which is promoting environmental education, we have different public environmental education activities, such as bringing different people to the nature or hosting different lectures. And then we also had primary and secondary school environmental protection training, as well as the university environmental leadership training program, which may be related to you more, the screen goer, the student environmental protection leader training program. So the second aspect is the community campaign. So we host regular shoreline cleaning up. We have the community resources sharing scheme for shopping bags. And then we also actively promoting outdoor ethics, which is leave no trace concept. Currently, we have education booth in Tai O, which we promote leave no litters in the nature when people go hiking. And then we also participate in recycling and waste reduction promotion and campaign for Lunar New Year Fair. So this is what Ecobus do. So for me, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Tan Chin Chang. So I actually study plants from Hong Kong U, and I'm the founder and education officer of Ecobus now. And then I'm also a board of director in Conservation Association in Hong Kong. And then I'm also actively involved in government or other environmental protection sectors, like the environmental campaign committee. I was in the publicity working group, and then I'm a leave no trace master educator. So today we would like to go through some of the problem of waste with you. So first of all, we will try to divide the content for three parts. The first part will be talking about the types and source of solid waste and the current situation of municipal solid waste in Hong Kong. And then after that, we will talk about the root causes of waste problem. And the third part will be talking about what we can do. And it will involve the waste auditing part. And I would really like you to participate and try to practice at home. So let's begin our first part about the types and sources of solid waste and the current situation of municipal solid waste in Hong Kong. So there are 5 different kinds of solid waste that we generate. So the first one is more closely related to us, which is municipal solid waste. We call them MSW. And then the construction waste. The third type is the special waste. The fourth type is the chemical waste and other solid waste. So for municipal solid waste, they are from residential, industrial, and commercial activity. So which is very related to our everyday life. And then for construction waste, they are the waste that are from construction sites or from your like your home if you have renovation work, or the demolition and road repairing project, right? And then special waste contains different kinds of waste that require specific treatment. For example, the medical waste, dead animal, livestock waste, radioactive waste, grease trap waste, sludge from the water treatment and sewage plants, right? And then the fourth types of waste is the chemical waste. So for chemical waste, they need handled carefully because they may impose potential danger for human health, or there may be adverse impact to the environment if they are released to the nature or natural environment. So they can be liquid, semi-solid, or solid waste. Some example, for example, the engine oil, the battery, some of your used paint or solvent are chemical waste. And the other solid waste actually include some mud or bottom material of the marine sites before they do reclamation, right? So there are 5 different kinds of solid waste. And then the first 3 types of solid waste may involve sending to the landfill. So we have different kinds of waste. So for municipal solid waste and construction waste, and also some of the special waste, they are sent to the landfill for disposal. And for other waste, there are other facilities that holds them. For example, for organic waste, such as food waste, they can be sent to the composting plants or organic resources recovery center, which here is the map of Hong Kong showing their location. So T part mainly is in Tuen Mun, and it is mainly deal with the sludge from water treatment plants. And then we have also Eco Park and V Park in Tuen Mun also. They are having different recycling facility for specific kinds of waste. And then for chemical waste, normally they will be sent to the chemical treatment plant center, which is in Changi, right? So for municipal solid waste, we will focus on municipal solid waste today. So the treatment of municipal solid waste, or the overall management, is go through a quite long train process. So when we produce the municipal solid waste in residential area, for example, our home, industrial area, offices, or factories, So they are actually collected by by waste collectors. Either they are private sector or they can be government, and then they will be sent to the refuse transfer center, and then they will be sent to the landfills. So for refuse transfer center, there are numbers of refuse transfer center in Hong Kong, which actually aim at compress the waste collected or refuse collected to reduce the volume that can actually increase the efficiency of transferal of those kind of refuse to free landfills. And then after the compression of the waste will send to the landfill. So there are 3 different landfill in Hong Kong, which is still open. So they are actually in 3 corners of Kowloon Peninsula, right? And then actually there are also different like 14 of landfills that are closed. So they actually has been used up for those kind of landfill. So if you look into the solid waste that has been sent to the landfill, if you look at the some statistic and data for those kind of waste, so you will discover that overall, this is the data from 2018, right? There are 16,000 tons per day of solid waste that has been sent to the landfill. So of those kind of waste, you can see that there are 70% around, which is municipal solid waste that actually contribute the most of the waste that has been sent to the landfill. And then around 25% of those kind of solid waste are construction waste, and then a small proportion, 4%, is the specific waste, special waste. So today we are focused. It is why today we would like to focus on municipal solid waste, because it actually contributes to a large amount in terms of waste, for the landfill, right? And then if you further look into what type of material that are present in the municipal solid waste, you can find that actually a quarter, around 24%, is paper, and 21% is plastic, and food waste actually contribute the largest amount, which is 31%, right? And then other kinds of material are also found in municipal solid waste, which is wood, glass, textile or clothing, metal, and others, right? So if you try to calculate the municipal solid waste, the total amount of municipal solid waste that has been disposed to the landfill in 2018, it is around 11 tons per day. So I can give you a approximate weight of a bus, which is 20 tons. So we are talking about around 500 buses per day, the weight per day of municipal solid waste to be sent to the landfill. So the amount is really huge. So if you actually look into the municipal food waste, so because food waste contribute the largest amount in municipal solid waste to the landfill, so domestic food waste actually contribute around 70%. and then 30% of food waste are from commercial and industrial food waste, right? So it is very important for us to reduce food waste that we produce every day in household. So that is domestic food waste. So food waste actually is not only the leftover, right? Because food waste is produced in different process when the food is preparing, right? In the production stage, when we process it, and then there is a wholesale and retail sector that actually generate food waste. And then when we are home for preparing our dinner, we generating food waste, right? And when we are consuming the food, and then we had leftover, right? So at different stage, food waste is produced. So therefore, food waste contribute to the largest amount among the municipal solid waste, right? So there are different kinds of food waste. Some are avoidable, some are unavoidable. So for avoidable food waste, for example, they are edible food. For example, we order too much food, or we buy too much food, or we cook too much food. So there may be leftover, like bread, or apples and meats, right? Those are an example of avoidable food waste. And then there are some food waste that may avoid. So for example, food that some people prefer not to eat. For example, bread and potato skin, right? Some people avoid to eat that, do not like to eat that, but it is avoidable because you can actually use it for other purpose or eat that, right? Some are inedible food. Those kind are unavoidable food waste because we cannot really consume it. For example, bones, eggshell, pineapple skin, or some of the spoiled food, right? They are inedible. So after we know about the types, source, and the amount of food waste, and also the current situation of the municipal solid waste. So we would like to go into the second part, to discover the root causes of waste problem in Hong Kong. So in general, the municipal solid waste or solid waste that dumped to the landfill is too much, right? So one of the reason for that is about our production and consumption habits in Hong Kong. So we have a linear production, consumption, and disposal habits for Hong Kong, because we try to extract natural resources to produce something, right, which normally not happen in Hong Kong, right? Maybe it happens in some like Southeast Asian region or mainland China, and then we try to distribute the product to us. And then after that, we consume it, right? And then we have very little amount of waste or consumed material that actually end up recycling. So mostly we go into landfill, right? So to discover more about how much amount of waste recycled in Hong Kong, you can see that this is the data from 2014 to 2018. The percentage of waste that are dumped to the landfill, which is in yellow orange color here, and also the recovered or recycled proportion, right, which is in green color. So you can see that the percentage, of course, the total amount of waste per year is increasing. And then the percentage of recovery, which is from 37% to the 2018, which is 30%. And then there are more waste, more proportional waste dumped to the landfill, like from 63% to 70%, right, in 2008. So actually, we had around 30% of waste go into recycling, but I actually put an quotation mark in recycling because it may not really go into recycling, right? I will explain you more in a later slide. And then for every day, we have almost 16,000 tons of solid waste that need to go to the landfill. Within that, municipal solid waste actually contribute to the largest amount, which is 11,400 tons. So on average per day, if you try to count per person per day, we have around 1.5 kilogram of waste that need to be sent to the landfill. So if you try to use this kind of trucks, heavy duty trucks, to transfer them, which actually required around 1,900 number of trucks to send those kind of waste to the landfill. So we have too much of waste to the landfill. And then one of the reasons for the low recycling rate or recovery rate of our waste is about our waste management policy, because the policy is lag behind. So if you compare the different waste management policy and measure that has been imposed in nearby city, for example, Taipei City and North Korea, right? They have actually very early in their history. For example, in 1995 and 2000, they has imposed a system of waste charging, for example. And then they had, for example, all the food waste recovery system, right, has been imposed in early stage in 90s and 2004 in Taipei, right? But in Hong Kong, we are still having not full capacity of food waste recovery system has been imposed. So we had we had a really huge problem of food waste. And then for food waste, the landfill is still operating, but it is not a solution for waste. So for 2 years or 3 years before, there are a big typhoon hitting Hong Kong, and a lot of marine waste, marine refuse were actually brought back from the wave and wind by the typhoon. So some of the people actually discover some of the plastic bottle, for example, this kind of plastic bottle, which is almost 20 years old. And then for this fragment of package, if you are old enough, you will notice that it is a McDonald's package of a hamburger, right? Like Big Burger package in the old days, which is made from polythene. It had around maybe 10 to 20 years ago, history, right? So actually waste will not disappear when we actually bring it into the landfill because it just accumulates. And during the transportation, collection, and etc., there are a lot of waste that may escape from the transportation and go into the nature, right? This is one of the bay, we call it rubbish bay in Lamma Island, right? So there are a lot of waste, solid waste that are brought by the wave action. And then for those kind of waste, especially plastic waste, it actually damages the biodiversity and ecology. For example, it can be anchored into the animals, for example, those kind of picture, and affecting their natural behavior, for example, feeding. And then some of the animal may eat some plastic, right? So, or some waste, it causes them health problem because, for example, most of the plastic is indigestible, right? And then more importantly, for plastic waste, it may actually break into different small fragments. We call it microplastic and cause pollution. So the small fragments of plastic actually can be smaller than 5 millimeters. We consider them as microplastic, and it may be from cosmetic products, clothing, or other process that may make microplastic. So it has actually huge impact to the food chain because small fish may eat the microplastic, and they may actually release the different kinds of ingredients that used to make plastic, like BPA and different kinds of plastic sizes, right? And actually, environmental toxin can actually attach to those microplastic. For example, some pesticides can be actually attached to the microplastic, and if the fish actually eats the microplastic, it will actually absorb different kinds of toxin, right? So most importantly, nowadays, actually, the microplastic has actually been discovered in human poop because of the bioaccumulation throughout the food chain, right? So it is actually a huge problem. Waste is a huge problem to the natural environment as well as the human health. So after we know that there are a lot of waste, amount of waste produced in Hong Kong, and we know that we had a really poor system for waste reduction and recycling. So what can we do? So today, the third part of this sharing is to show you how we can do better to deal with the solid waste problem. So before I continue, I would like to share with you a short video about 4 minutes about Taiwan KOL talking about conducting a small waste audit for his daily life. Although it is in Mandarin, but I think throughout the video, you will notice that what he would like to bring the message. So he is doing the waste audit from Monday to Sunday. So let's watch this video.
台客就
我一个礼拜怎么累积了那么多垃圾？方便的礼拜一第一件事就是买早餐。 塑胶袋好拿，帮你拿个传单，当然少不了咖啡跟老婆的拿铁。我没试过这个早餐店，赶快赶到捷运。到公司前一定要买个水，把午餐带走可以边工作边吃。夏天少不了冷的饮料，假肥爸买个饭团，下班前喝完了2瓶水，蛋白质不够补个鸡腿，晚餐吃个健康三明治，宵夜再补个垃圾食物。方便的礼拜二早上好渴，这是超市送的茶，路边 7停因为快饿扁了，买个饭团还有个中冰美。跟兄弟一起吃饭，到了高级餐厅既然还有垃圾，免费报纸我喜欢，饭后咖啡是必要的。到了拥挤的餐厅，不想人挤人就带着，到个空旷的地方享受美食。又到了便利商店买瓶水，身体大量流汗要补充水分。回家前到了超市买个蛋、肉、水果还有气泡水，还有一瓶安眠饮料。方便星期三，冰箱里面还有昨天买给老婆的早餐。又到了便利商店，因为昨天忘了买米，当然少不了我的冰美式。用到假节后康呢，暗时假个干单呢，中间跑来跑去也要补充身体的水分。方便星期四又到便利商店买一样的早餐，买个塑胶袋，手比较不会那么忙。开会前买一瓶矿泉水，开会后再一个冰美式，因为早上还没有喝。用卫生纸帮女儿擦汗，买一些饮料，因为我们要去宜兰。
海边。我好喜欢来海边
呢。玩到饿扁了，赶快去便利商店买饭团还有便当。到了民宿开一瓶气泡水，还有沐浴乳。晚安。早上起来用了民宿的牙刷，民宿准备早餐，所以没有累积垃圾。但是孩子想要 bubble bath， 所以又用了一瓶沐浴乳。孩子好想喝豆浆，2个人喝得很幸福。哦，是免费咖啡，小心喝太多手会开始发抖。午餐去吃 drive-thru， 再到乐高博物馆帮小朋友买玩具。差一点忘了我在收集垃圾。星期六买个冰美式还有矿泉水，冰美式2口就喝完了。到了健身房有机器有哑铃，有哑铃还有机器，反正就没几分钟喝一口水，我很快就把1500cc 的水喝完。周末有的是时间，所以好好在家里煮。亲戚的婚宴没有累积到垃圾。礼拜天又到了便利商店，我就问自己，为什么每天都吃一样的早餐？下午到了轻易计划区，它是一个购物天堂，我一直在累积很多的垃圾。
好，谢谢。这是我1个礼拜累积的垃圾。
So in the video, you can see that we generate a lot of waste in daily life, and seems that it is unavoidable, but we can try to reduce the waste that we generate. And of course, it is very important for us to do better recycling. So separation of waste and clean recycling is the essential step for recycling or enhance the recycling capacity. So in Hong Kong, you can actually have 2 ways that you can put the recyclables to the recycling process. The first one is the recycle bins that are set up on the street and also in maybe near your housing estate, right? And then for those kind of recycling bin, they have mainly targeting on 3 types of paper. So the first 3 types of paper is the newspaper, books and magazine, office paper, and also carpets, right? And all others paper are not suitable for this kind of recycle bins. And then 2 kinds of plastic are welcome. So the beverage plastic bottle and personal care product plastic bottle, type 1 and type 2 bottles are welcome for this kind of recycling bins. So of course you have to clean it and dry it before you put it in, and then it also allow the metal for recycling, mainly metal, aluminum cans and other metal bottles that are shown in this paper, right? And then for you may also observe that there is a kind of recycling bin which is green in color. So it actually target for the glassware. So mainly glass bottle. So bottled beverage and wine, the glass bottle is welcome for this kind of recycling bin. But I think that I actually do not, most of the people are not very confident for this kind of recycling bins because, for example, one of the morning last week, I saw the workers actually putting out all those kind of recyclable into one bags, and then after that they try to tie up this bag and then put it onto the truck, and then they will separate it in the recycling line in their factory maybe, right? So it seems that although you try to separate different recyclable, but at the end it will actually mix up again. And actually there are some news in the past that the recycling contractor actually taking those kind of recyclable directly dumped into the landfill. And then there is a better way for recycling. So it actually accepts more recyclable and with a better classification of recyclable that are in the green space in the community. So one of the green space is the community green station. You can check their location in this link, right? So and also there is community recycling center in different districts. So also they are on this link. So for 8 types of recyclable, they actually accept waste paper. So also 3 types. And then the metal. So for metalware, they also accept other metalware. For example, pots, right? And then for plastic, besides the type 1 and type 2 plastic, which is the beverage bottle and the personal care hygiene product listed here, they also accept other kinds of plastic and also the polythene, which is the food container polythene or some fruit protector polythene, right? And then this is the photo that I have taken in the center. So they almost deal with all kinds of plastic except the type 3 plastic. So if you have plastic waste or plastic recyclable, you can bring it there and they will try to teach you how to separate it into respective recycle bins. So this recycle bins is for the polythene, for the polythene. And then for e-waste, you can also send the e-waste to the community center. So there are 4 regulated electronic waste, the washing machine, television, air conditioner, and fridge, and also the different computer product, the computer monitor, the central processing part, and or notebook, and also the scanner and printer. So you can also call the government contractor by this number for them to collect for you. And then for small electrical appliance, so if you have some camera, fan, or other small electrical appliance which you would like to donate to someone in need, you can also do so in the Green Community Center. And then for the forensic lamp and chip, you can also send them there. And then for rechargeable battery, and also the Tetra Pak, for example, they also separate into more details category. One of those are the aluminium covered Tetra Pak, which you can find in most of the beverage drinks. And then the milk Tetra Pak, you can put it here, right? So besides the government initiated recycling center, there are also some volunteer initiated program for recycling. So Waste No More is a campaign which they open mainly in the morning or afternoon of Saturday and Sunday in different districts to detailedly collect different recyclable. But only to the COVID-19, they are temporarily closed. So for Ecobus, we had also a program in Wandaisin for recycling and resources sharing. So we try to deal with all kinds of plastic the polythene, Tetra Pak, and paper. And we have also a corner for the second-hand item exchange platform. So if you are interested, you can also visit us in the morning on Sunday of November and December, and you can find more information on our Facebook. So today, after we know about the waste, municipal solid waste, and some of the data of municipal solid waste, and how we can actually reduce and enhance the recycling of solid waste, I would like to give you a challenge. So the challenge is to increase the recovery rate of waste at your home. So I suggest you to do a simple waste audit at home. And then after that, you can target 1 or 2 kinds of recyclable to get started for recycling. So let me go into details. So first of all, you have to do a simple waste audit at home. So it is actually to find out which type of recyclable that your family members produce the most. So we can actually try to target some of the recyclables. So first of all, in order to do a waste audit, for better advice, you have to separate the food waste from the other waste and record their weight. So this is the rubbish bin at home. So I try to gather all the food waste and other waste into two different bags. And then after that, I can weight the food waste and all other waste. And then after that, I can sort all the recyclable from the other waste because it would not contaminate with the food waste. And then we can try to count and weight all the recyclable. So I have made a video about that. I will show you now.
So this is the recyclable that I accumulate at home for 7 days. So I try to store all the recyclable together, but not sorted because of saving space. So in order to sort it out or doing a waste audit, you have to have some kind of balance or scale. So here I show you different kind of scale. So if you have bakery scale, you can also use it at home. So normally you should have some kind of weight and balance at home, right? So after that, we will now open all the bags of recyclable and see what I have. So you can see mostly the recyclables includes paper, some metals, plastic, and also polythene and Tetra Pak. So to make it simple, we will only sort it to primary category. So you may have a look now. So there are Tetra Pak, plastic bags, different food containers, paper, etc. So basically, we will sort it out now. So for plastic, I will try to collect it together. And then this is also plastic. And then for paper, I put it into another side. So, and then those are... So we try to get it quicker for the sorting process. So for plastic, I will divide it into different type. So beverage plastic bottle, I will put it at the corner. And then for glassware, it is in the middle. And then the personal hygiene product plastic bottle, I will separate it. And then for all other plastic, I will put into the rubbish bag that I'm holding now. So those are all the plastic, different kinds of plastic at home that can be recycled. So for the beverage bottle, I will put it all here. And then for these two bottle, it is the type 2 bottle. So I will separate it into here maybe. And then for all the glassware, the bottle cap belongs to the plastic general waste. And then for the paper, it is here. And then the Tetra Pak, some are cut, some are not, right? And then for also paper, there. And then those are the polythene, so I will put it here. And then for aluminum cans, I will put it here, right? So here we will have a time for try to record the weight and how many of recycle for each type of recyclable. So simply prepare a balance and put 5 of the aluminum cans onto the balance, so you can get the weight and also the number of number of cans, right? And then after that, we will go into the glassware. So I have 5 glassware for this week. It's around 1 kilogram, 1,000 grams, right? And then after that, we will get into the beverage bottles. So totally there are 8 of them. And then we'll try to weight it. So it's 260 something gram. And then for all types of paper, we will try to gather them on a paper bag and check their weight. It's around 560, right? And then next, we will have the polythene. There are 2 kinds of polythene here. So it's just 12 grams. And then after that, the Tetra Pak, 84 grams. And then finally, the personal hygiene product bottle, 35. So, and the final one, all the mixed plastic, I will try to use another another scale to weight it. It is around 710 grams and 10 grams. So it is a simple and quick review on the recyclables that you can gather at home.
So after the survey, you can find that for the whole week, I actually weighed the food waste, other weights each day. And then there are 10.2 kilograms per week for food waste and 6.8 kilograms of other waste. And from other waste category, I sort out all the recyclable. That in total there are 2.69 kilograms of clean recyclables. And then if you look into the details, you can find that the highest weight of recyclable is glassware, which has 1 kilogram. And then plastic, for all other kinds of plastic, I contribute 0.7 kilograms. And then for bottles, type 1 plastic, it actually has 0.3 kilograms. So for this result, I can actually try to find out the closest recycling place that are suitable for my recyclable by this link. And then for me, actually, I try to store them in dry condition, especially for glassware and also the beverage bottle, because they can actually be reused easily. And if the capacity has been full, I will actually get half of them to go recycling. So it is also one of the ways that I can share with you how we can at least try to help to do recycling. So this is the end of my sharing. I hope that you will accept my challenge and try to do a simple audit and at least target one type of recyclable to try to store it at home and bring it to closest recycling places near your home. So thanks for your attention.